Okay, so we did the notes and the rests, and you can practice those lots. You can doodle those are fun. But speaking of doodling, this is always the one that everybody loves to learn how to draw. Now remember, I've been drawing these for 40 plus years, so yours aren't going to be as good as mine right away, but these are a lot of fun to do, and you will get better and better. We are going to draw the treble clef, the clef that tells us to play high instruments and voices. So step by step, do it with me as we go. We're going to start with a hook below the staff. Go all the way above the top line and stop. Then I'm going to do a half of a circle about that far. Cross that line, do a half of a circle all the way down to the bottom. Cross that line, and I always call it a cinnamon bun around, and stop underneath that second to the bottom line. That line right there is called the G line. Elvis's Guitar Broke Down Friday, or Every Good Boy Does Fine. That's the G line. That's why the treble clef also has the nickname, the G clef. Let's do it again. And then you can practice these on your own. Again, start with a hook below. Go straight up above the top of the staff. Half a circle, cross. Half a circle, cross. Cinnamon bun around and stop under the G line. Here's a common mistake. Let's see if you can figure out what I'm going to do wrong. What did I do wrong? You're right. He's not sitting all the way on the bottom line. Here's one more common mistake. See if I can squeeze it in there. A little harder to see because it's on the side. What did I do wrong? You're right. I did not cross back over the middle line before I cinnamon bunned around. So go ahead, draw some treble clef signs. Again, you can pause the video before we go on and do some more. When you're done, get a new sheet, clear your page, and we are going to do another staff. I like drawing those treble clefs. Okay. We don't play too much in the bass clef yet, but we do recognize what a bass clef is. Bass, like your basement. It's on the lower part of your house. Lower notes. It's for lower instruments and voices. This time we're going to pay attention to the second line. Start with a little dot there, and then do a half a heart to the bottom. And all we're missing is the two dots around that line. In the bass clef, this is the F line, and that's how this clef gets the nickname F clef. Okay? Common mistake is to put the dots in the wrong spot or not making this puffy enough. If you make it look like a question mark, you probably didn't do it right. Make it look more like a half of a heart. Then, just two more things we want to practice. A bar line. Bar lines separate our measures or our groups. When you draw a bar line, notice I didn't go past the top and the bottom. I went touching them. I started here and stopped there. If I want to turn that bar line into a double bar line usually has the second line just a little fatter. That tells us if this was at the end of the music, that would say stop. We're at the end of the song. We don't have to play anymore. But what do we add to the double bar line if we want to do it again? If we want to repeat, you're right, two dots back to that middle line. Two dots around the middle line. If we see this, it tells us to play it again. And lastly, and we'll have to wait till 4th grade to talk more about a time signature, but a time signature are the numbers at the beginning to tell us how many beats were allowed in each measure, in each group. So we could draw a number 4 above, 4 below, or 3 above. That's a really bad 4, Mrs. Zucker. 4 below for our time signature. Have fun practicing those today and doodle it up.